eli5 5 years ago, Barbie was a danger to children for portraying unrealistic beauty standards for women. Now she's a feminist icon. What changed? Honestly, I don't think that many people really thought Barbie was giving young girls unrealistic expectations for their bodies. Toys don't do that, media magazines, movies showing real people do that, when we're tricked into thinking that heavily photoshopped bodies are achievable. Barbie is feminist because she didn't rely on a man, had a credit card in her name before that was even legal for women, and could have any career she wanted. The original Barbie dream house also had no kitchen, encouraging young girls to imagine a lot of roles for women outside the traditional domestic sphere. Society. As people in general become more progressive, the products marketed to them, along with the companies who produce them, experience changes in management and an increasing requirement to adapt the message of their products to align with modern beliefs. While advertising and commodification dirties everything it touches, it is a good sign that things can be reclaimed by those who like them and can be expanded beyond older, more conservative connotations. The main thing is to then ensure that the companies act on the values they mirror for profit. That discussion had always existed, but I'll personally say, as a dad of a 5-year-old girl, I'm really impressed with the Barbie media of about the last decade. It's high quality, entertaining, and the messages are pretty positive. I genuinely can say I had the wrong ignorant impression of Barbie. Can it be critiqued? Yes, but in a manner that you could apply to our society very broadly. It doesn't stand out to me as a negative influence. Mattel have been playing the positivity marketing game for decades though. Feminists are not required to agree with one another about everything, and indeed they don't. Different people have different opinions. You're seeing a different message than 5 years ago, not because official feminism changed its mind about Barbie, but because you're seeing different people's opinions. Now, why would that happen? All sorts of reasons: trends of popularity, media manipulation for advertisement, maybe you're reading different sources, etc. Barbie was the first female president, and the first American woman in space. She's always been an icon. Barbie has grown as women, and the women's lib movement has grown. The expectations and goals are different for girls now. Barbie reflects that. Barbie also reflects the harmful and antiquated concept of femininity, because Barbie really is every woman, and that is also part of the feminine narrative experience. Women's liberation is what happened. BC Hollywood is too broken to make actual art, so they pick a word everyone knows, makes a partnership, spends a lot of money on marketing. And poof! The switch is mentioned in another comment as a new but will get a lot of attention without having to pay for ads. I'm all too familiar with the nuances of feminism and thought the movie was cliché and dull. But beautiful the costumes set were. The contrast is across people, not time. Some people always thought Barbie was good. Some people still think Barbie is bad. This is how basically any apparent cultural contradiction, hypocrisy, whiplash works. The people who like Barbie have a lot to talk about right now because there is a movie that, by and large, agrees with them, so you're hearing them more than usual. Barbie and other dolls in general just kind of fell out of favor starting around the mid-2000s. I personally blame those shitty Bratz dolls. But also the internet and the death of big box toy stores is part of it as well. But now 80s 90s kids are in their 30s late 20s, so you are seeing a lot of that stuff come back as creators and audiences alike have interest in it. To me, part of feminism is the idea that women can be anything they want to be. That includes Barbie being Barbie. Some women want to be hyper-feminine and live the Barbie aesthetic, and that desire doesn't diminish their accomplishments or capabilities in any way. Barbie can be a supermodel in appearance and be president, and I think that's a beautiful thing. Both can be true. The latter is about her accomplishments, as both a character and as a product. Barbie can be anything, so girls can be anything. The controversy was more around her unrealistic body. The impossible beauty standards she creates clash with the idea of girls aspiring to be like Barbie. Nothing changed. Barbie is a children's toy. There are people out there that project their own ideas on popular brands, but that doesn't mean it's Barbie. Barbie is an inanimate children's doll, and that's where it ends. Anyone who tells you otherwise is trying to sell you something. They gave her more realistic proportions and started putting her in more roles besides swimsuit model and stay-at-home trophy wife. They also introduced other characters into the Barbie lineup, so there's more diversity and representation. Watch the Barbie cartoon sometime. It's really fun and adorable. Might give you some idea on ways that the character was changing or being represented before the movie. Nothing at all. She's always been able to stand on her own 2 feet. She can be anything. Period. And that's threatening to a male-dominated world, especially to religious zealots. I'd suggest the documentary Tiny Shoulders, which came out in 2018. It really highlights changes that have been years in the making. There's currently a marketing campaign that they spend a lot of money on, and that's how they like to advertise things these days. People realize they could use a children's toy to indoctrinate young girls into a new generation of neo-feminazis. They are trying to recast Barbie as a feminist icon. If you watch the movie, they talk about how problematic she is. She's always been both physically problematic, and socially empowering. The whole of my life, at least. Republicans hate women. And now they are not afraid to voice it publicly. That's what's changed. The transition from second wave to third wave feminism. But that didn't happen 5 years ago.